Hi, and welcome to week 3 of hybrid political science. Let's look at what you did in week 2 and how it's going to help you in week 3. It's very important. The first thing we're going to look at is in week 2, we looked at the Articles of Confederation and the construction of our Constitution. You were supposed to create a chart that talked about the powers that the Articles of Confederation had and the powers that it didn't have, who those people were that built our Constitution, and these big compromises and plans that were created in order to come up with something that was going to work for our country. This is going to be very important for you to consider when you do this next step in week 3. You were also supposed to look at, in lesson 2 last week, at the structure of the Constitution. This is also going to be very important as you move forward to do this assignment for week 3. And you were supposed to learn about the limits of government, the separation of powers, the checks and balances of our Constitution, and about judicial review. And basically the idea that our Constitution creates a federalist system. And then the different powers in the Articles of the Constitution, you're supposed to break those down. This should all have been done in week 2 and in your notebook, and I'll be looking at those at the beginning of this week, which sets us up for week 3's work. This is what you're going to have to do as a summative assessment. So now entering the next week, we're going to look at the overview video, which is or you're watching the overview video right now of this next assignment. And here is the assignment. This is step 1. You're going to create your own government. Here's how it starts. A devastating pandemic has decimated the government. Federal, state, and local governments are gone. Small regional population, mostly of high school and college age, have survived because of their ability to resist the disease. That's you. You are the survivors. Now that the danger of the epidemic has passed, you believe there is a need to create a government to maintain order. By coincidence, you just completed my political science class, and you think you have the basic knowledge you need to get the job done. So you and a partner, or if you want, you can work alone, will create a basic set of rules and a constitution and explain why your proposed government should be considered legitimate. This is going to be worth 25 total points, and this is a summative assessment. This is where we find out what you know. This is game time. You're earning points and demonstrating what you learned from the first 2 weeks of class. So you start off with a strong paragraph explaining what the functions of your government are. So you're going to go back to week 1. Protect from external forces, bring order to society, provide public goods and services, socialize the youth. Those are the basic roles and functions of your government. And you have to talk about in a paragraph what your government will do. Then, decide what type of democratic government your country will have. So you write another paragraph and explain the structure of your government. Are you going to have a direct democracy or an indirect democracy? How are you going to separate those powers and create checks and balances? Are you going to have a constitution? Are you going to have a Bill of Rights? This is a lot of the stuff that you learned in week 2. And in week 2 you also saw that there was a preamble to the Constitution of the United States. You have to write your own preamble. And you can't bullet point it, you write it out completely. And that's worth 5 points. Once you've done all that, you're going to make a basic outline of your Constitution. What are the branches of your government and specific powers will you give to the branches of your government? Next, what are the roles of the citizens? What things did you expect citizens to do? And last but not least, you have to say how your Constitution can be amended. And finally, what kind of an economic system will you use? And that was part of the lesson 2 from week 2. And you should use that, what you learned from economic systems, to decide what kind of system you're going to use. You're going to make this in a Word document. So you start off with Google Docs. When you're done, and you share it with me and your partner, you build it together. and you share it with me immediately. Once you're done, you upload it to me, put your name and hour on it, and upload it to me on Moodle. This needs to be done before class starts. And so for you, it's due by the beginning of class on Monday, September 24th, and you upload that file. Okay, this is game time. This is 25 summative points. Good luck.